iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racing enthusiasts all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. The car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and racing teams. Our skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly racing series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 200,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams, race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12-Hour. Participate in solo races, championship seasons, and hosted and league events with AI Racing. With a rapidly expanding catalog of 70-plus cars and 85-plus tracks from real-world racing series, test your abilities with challenging computer-based competition. Additional partners include IMSA, the World of Outlaws, and Supercars, allowing members to participate in their very own Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, Sebring 12-Hour, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Hello and welcome, as we're live from Italy, and welcome back, in fact, after a 3-week hiatus, no less. Hope you had a good Christmas and a great New Year. It's 2024 and we're back with round 7 of XSLR. I'm Tim Cox and I'm going to guide you through a bit of a discovery of the unknown here. A bit different tonight. One-shot quali, only 15 laps. That's because this circuit is a little bit of a beast, let's face it. I'm just taking Monza, or even the old school oval. We've put them together, and then we said, those pesky chicanes, Retafilio, Daryl Rogier, let's just do away with them completely. We'll leave Ascari for, shits and giggles, for meme's sakes. If you saw last season in the Radicals just how wild this combination was, you know, you're in for a great, great night. Tonight, it's not the Radicals, it's the Mazda MX-5s. Some people call them Miatas. They're wrong. And they're also American, because they are MX-5s. They're not Miatas. Same way it's Honda, it's not Acura. Just get a grip of yourselves. Come on. Anyway, tonight's stream, thank you very much kindly to all of our sponsors, and also powered by Jack and Daniel, making things possible. We've got practice just about to round out before we get, as mentioned, that one-shot quali here from Monza in Italy. Glorious day, 30 degrees Celsius, as you can see. And let's, what does that mean in Fahrenheit? Well, you have to do the calculations yourself, because it's about time you lot did something. But let's take a little look at the times that have been set so far. Andrew Kosick, top of the leaderboard. By a second and a half. He's not messing around here. Lovely pussy there. For Moist Mint Racing. You see, you come out there, off the oval. This oval is incredibly bouncy. It's rough, it's ready, and then you head out on the start-finish straight. This is where things get a little bit interesting, because it's just a wild ride. Your foot is flat to the floor. You say hello, a goodbye, in the blink of an eye. Della Roggia. Sorry, Rettifilio. Before we then head up to Della Roggia, where you again say hello and goodbye to that in a blink. But if anyone dares go too wide through here, could be in for a bit of a wild ride. And then, first breaking point on the circuit of the lap is into the first of the Lesmos. Followed by, of course, the aptly named second Lesmo. Bit of understeer on entry there from Kosick. Before his foot flat to the floor. Underneath the bridge, underneath the oval, which the drivers will be driving around. And then, it's realistically only like the penultimate braking zone on the track. Into Ascari, usual flick it left, right, left again, take plenty of that curb on the exit. The Kosick elects not to there. Interesting. And then, we're going to brake into Curva Parabolica. We don't call it by its new name. We don't mess around like that whatsoever. It will always be Parabolica. Onto the brakes there, hook it up through, ever so patient on the throttle. And then your foot is flat to the floor until you get to the first of the Lesmos again. And then he lets you come into the pits, and well, that is a little bit boring and not going to help us whatsoever. Kev the Rev Irwin, he's keeping it down. He's keeping it down. He's going for it for chat, and let's just ride a ball with him. Take a little look in here of just how bouncy this circuit is out on the ovals. That draft can be so powerful, so crucial during racing. As, oh, well, you get too high. That's what happens.
Hey, Tim, you got me?
I have got you. Adam Thompson joins us now because he's got nothing better to do with his life than come and talk to me.
Well, I just wanted to let you know that you did put the wrong thumbnail on the YouTube.
Oh,
we are actually running Monza, I promise. This is Monza, not Summit Point.
Well, an idiot can change that, can't they? I'll be changing that in a bit. Let's
okay, goodbye.
It. Okay, pleasure. Wisdom. Well, maybe not there from Thompson. But we've got qualifying just getting underway now. Who do we pick to ride on board with? Out of the pits we come. I'll tell you what, we'll stick with Kevin Irwin. Well, thank you, courtesy of Bayview Shade and Blind, one of the sponsors here, XSLR. This one-shot quali, all or nothing. It's largely down to the point of, because the outlap is just so long here that it's why it's been cut down, it's shaved down. And this is it, folks. This is just your foot flat to the floor. And it's going to stay like this all the way until you reach the first Lesmo. Now, many of the person's going to say, but Tim, this requires no skill whatsoever. Now, you may be right on that part. You may be right in some ways, but not in all, because it's all about tactics. I mean, the same could be said for the super speedways, Daytona, Talladega, for example, to give it a French twist. However, folks, it's about, do you go? Do you not? Are we going to see some people maybe sit behind, maybe show the field saving strat? Now, my thoughts is that's not really going to work because, let's say it works, you come out 2-3 seconds ahead, great, you've got to jump on everyone. But now you're just a sicking duck because that draft cane is going to catch you. Just shooting past it. Rettifilio there, through Curva Grande, and the engine actually lifting there is Irwin. Just the engine just winding down slightly as it's turning, clipping the curve on entry. And then we brake for the first time in the lap. We said one of the 4 times that you will brake. First being to Lesmo 1, second being to Lesmo 2, then into Ascari, and then into Curva Parabolica. Nicely done there, Kev. Nicely done. Of course, this is all immaterial because, let's face it, it is his outlap, folks. Oh, Jack and Daniel, I love your honey. Read into that what you will. Read into that what you will. So, here we go. Second of the braking zones. Third of the braking zones into Ascari. I'll tell you what, Kevin Irwin, this is very, very nicely done. It's looking very, very smooth, but can he do it when he counts? When he counts, even. When he needs to. Getting ready, needs to get the parabolica of his life here to catapult and slingshot him out onto that first lap. The driver's going to be first across the line. It's going to be even Stevens. It's going to be Bobby Ross first, and then instantly Andrew Kosik across the line. So here comes Irwin. And he is now out onto his flying lap. His one and done. His one and only. His bay. Doesn't want to get down too low. It's going to cost him momentum, and that is so crucial. It's 5 margin, slim pickings here at Monza on this combined circuit. Need to keep it up on that banking, so crucial. And let's talk about this, because that banking, it's going to be treacherous. It is going to be treacherous. Let's face it. In the opening laps, because, you know, if you're down low there, it's not as banked. But you see this beautiful shot just illustrating it now. Compared to higher up above that yellow line, drivers are allowed to dip down. It's not so much of a difference here from the second section of the banking. Compared to turns 1 and 2 of the oval. Why is it called 1 and 2? It's pointless. It's genuinely pointless, let's face it. It's just one curve. Anyway, looking good here. Also, we've got, there's Thompson. You know, Bobby Ross. Lovely flames. Loving it, loving it. So, interestingly, look at that. Ham fast of anyone in Sector 1. Ross in Sector 2. There's Kosik. Drivers alone qualifying, so the whole track to themselves. So Ham, like he's best in the third sector. Ross off the pace. It's Bobby Ross, no relation to Bob Ross. Kosik winding it up now. Check in with the ham sandwich himself. Mixed bag. Mixed bag on this lap from him. For Ascari. On to the brakes. Run it wide. Could run it wider than that. It's all about momentum in these cars. Just keeping that minimum speed up. I'll tell you what. This guy, Bobby Ross, he's looking good for pole. He's got more purple sectors than anyone out there. Jimmy Howard doing his usual, I'm not going to qualify, I can't be bothered. I'll start from the back and I'll work my way through the field. That's off to him. Can he achieve it? So come across the line. There you go. It is Ross to the top, but by half a tenth over Kosik. Ham goes third. It's going to be next. It's going to be Kevin Irwin. What's he going to achieve? Ham 2/10 off the pace. Irwin 2.5 seconds. Wow, it's a monstrous amount. And Thompson, well, there you go. 6 thousandths of a second slower than Ham. What is Howard's pace? A question that we would all love to know. And now we sit and wait because Howard's not clicking on ready to race. So now we just get to sit here and enjoy and think about what we're about to see, because well, we'll follow. Is everyone out on track? Yes, they are. Let's get another lap in casually. Does not count whatsoever. It's all good experience, just keeping that minimum speed up. Big news since we've been off the air. You can now broadcast IndyCars from Indianapolis once again. Great news. Great news since the, well, license between Motorsports Game and IndyCar has basically been torn up to a shred of its former self. It's over. It is looking like it is fully over for Motorsport Games. There are only hats left to hang on now. So of course, Le Mans Virtual, they'll be heading to our screens. But to a PC New Year, if you're maybe a sim racing fan, on the 24th of February, I believe that's coming along to us. What will that be like? I've heard. So my sources tell me it is a reskinned version of R-Factor, made to work with controllers. Of course, being released on PC first of all before heading to console. I get the feeling it's not really going to be that popular on the PC. If you already own R-Factor, there's plenty of mods for all that content. You already own iRacing. You've got most of that content anyway. It's just the WEC hypercars you don't really own. And of course, the Lexus GT3 as well, and Corvette. Apparently, those are coming along soon enough, from what I hear. Of course, iRacing aligned with IMSA. And we've got 5 seconds left in qualifying here. So these drivers completing laps that do not count. Of course, they've had their one lap. They are able to continue on until the clock runs out, like it has done now. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's take you through your grid for this evening. Bobby Ross starts on pole on his return to the championship. Andrew Kosick joining him on the front row, and he got just under half a tenth separating those two. That's Jake Ham and Thompson sharing row 2, while Kevin Irwin and Jimmy Howard share row 3. Smaller grid than what we got to experience at Summit Point. It's some epic racing. Well worth going back and watching that one if you didn't see it. That is for sure. But let's have a look in. Drivers lining up on the grid. For the last two, Wayne and Hammond Howard, incidentally, and it's talking of which. Nightbot. Wow. You cruel, cruel mistress. Deleting. I haven't enabled Nightbot. Who enabled that? Stop spamming the wave. Well, no, we love a spam. We love spam. It's fake cam. And it's J-Cam. Now, can I tell Nightbot to, well, with a, say in British terms, piss off? I think I can. I don't know. Anyway, just come on, Ham. Get yourself on, J-Cam, get yourself on the grid, mate. Come on, we need to get this motor race underway here from Monza. 15 laps, that is all we are going to experience here. Flippin' Nightbot. Not angry. I'm just disappointed. Right. It's all about the start. Here come the lights. Let's get ready to go racing from Monza, the combined circuit in our Mazda MX-5's round 7 of XSLR. In the most undramatic start that you will ever see in your life, we are green and we are racing here, folks. I tell you what, Jimmy Howard's getting a lovely, lovely little launch there off the line. He's getting himself ahead at this early stage of Kevin Irwin. Line of stern, everyone. Line of stern on this first flying lap. Is anyone going to throw some shapes? Anyone going to make some moves? In these opening stages, here comes Andrew Kosick up the inside. Looking to make a move. What's he going to do? Comes down low. Who's that going with him? That is Jake Ham, no less. Trying to push Kosick. Doesn't know. Backs out of it. And they dip below that yellow line. There's a little bit more banking here through turns 3 and 4. But this is where it gets tight, folks. Out of here. It pinches just as you come back onto the circuit, and they are all side by side jockeying for position. But look at Howlett down there in that yellow penciled Mazda MX-5. Slingshot himself through with Bobby Ross and Adam Thompson there. Lovely stuff, lovely stuff. But is Howard the run up ahead of Kosick? He is. He's going to get it done. And from the back of the field, Jimmy Howard is through. And he has got himself on to the podium for now, folks. Flick it left. Flick it right. And now brake for the first time. Everyone just taking things tentatively in these opening stages. An extra dab of the brakes there for Bobby Ross for good measure, no less. And once again, full throttle it is. So we head under the bridge, under the back straight of the oval. They emerge underneath that into Ascari. Third time they're going to brake on the circuit. For the penultimate time. Well, they head out down the back straight away, down towards Parabolica on the Grand Prix circuit. Down towards now Parabolica, getting this right, getting things lined up. Once again, Howard just holding up the pack a little bit. He's in slipstream race, so he does not need to worry. Then half a second of our breakaway two. As it looks at the moment, there is Thompson and Ross. Sure, probably get a bit of assistance there from Kosick. Howard dropping back to 5th, not the opening lap he would have hoped for. You can see there just how much time they're able to make up due to the draft. And then snake through into that elusive train. Picturesque scenes here from the camera. So we look down that train, making our way down the back straightaway. Close as you like between the lot of them. But realistically, this is just no oval style racing realistically now. This is all about just winding down the clock. It's a little bit spicy when you rejoin the Grand Prix circuit, isn't it, folks? A Thompson pushing Ross there. Is that the tactic to play, though? Is anyone going to move out of line? Because as much as, you know, you can fuel save this one by sitting in the draft, it's not going to necessarily benefit you because it'll put you at the front of the track. However, it does give you that little bit of flexibility because, let's say you are not too confident in terms of your entrance and exit, maybe you haven't practiced it too much, you're stationary for less time. Well, it's going to allow you that little bit of maneuverability. Allow you to come out that little bit earlier. You know, Anytime my list from transition down the pit lane, you can negate that by being stopped the least amount of time. Underneath the oval. I'll tell you what, these two up front, they are nudging each other along, and I'm not sure as they head behind the trees whether this could end in tears or not. I mean, it would be wise to do so. Could it be wise? Is Thompson going to push Ross too hard? Of course, all that pushing, Thompson needs to be careful, really careful. Those temperatures in his engine, oil temperatures, he doesn't want to cook his engine and blow his engine up. Look at that, fastest lap of the race there from Jimmy Howard. Take a picture, folks. It'll last a lifetime. It's the first and last time you're going to see that outside of the dirt ovals. Still to come. I'll tell you what I'm really looking forward to on the dirt road section. Irwindale, figure of 8 with the jumps. Oh, yes, please. And Kevin Irwin just dropping off a little bit. And he's out of... Or is he out of draft range? No, he's not. And let's run on board with Kev the Rev. Because he was coming out onto the oval just for a second down. That gap's down to 6/10. It's going to drop to probably about half a second here by the time we reach the second section of the banking, and there's a bit of a move on there. That's Andrew Kosick making a lunge for the lead. And he's got it done. He's got it. Oh, no, here we go. Oh, no. Wrong camera angle. They all survived somehow, some way. Wow, folks. Wow, we'll stick with this a little bit. Let's have a quick look to see how. What happened here? Here comes Kosick like a freight train. Using all that overspeed, a bit of side draft to boot. And how does it all unfold here? Does he come up? Does someone get a bit loose? And Ross, oh, can't decide what he needs to do. Kosick, oh, well held, Andrew Kosick. But that allows Thompson and Howard through into the lead of this group. And Kevin Irwin, from being maybe a second down, caught them and has passed, well, Ross and Kosick have gone from the front to the back. Here we go, folks. Here we go. Once again. Underneath the oval. Once more. Lap 3 out of 15 here from Monza. And now onto the back straight. It's simple, but I'll tell you what, it's effective. I'll tell you what, on board, when you're racing this, folks, it is enthralling. Thompson's got his wipers on there. Who knows why? Oh, and he's run it really, really, really wide as Thompson. Got away with it though. Got away with it though, folks. Got away with it. Ross and Kosick just dropping off. Maybe a bit of damage to their cars. Definitely scrapes that front left because drivers do have one fast repair available to them. And you get the feeling that Andrew Kosick will be utilising that one. As meanwhile up front, we've got a pushing crew going. Not quite. You don't want to be doing it through the back section here at Monza. It will end in tears. Now it's time to push. Here comes Howard. And the pushing gate, is it going to be the triple push with Ham as well? Let's have a little ride on board. He's trying to make it happen. Is he going to get there? Is Howard pushing? Let's find out. The difference in engine notes, interesting there. Feels like Howard's almost missing a gear a little bit. Now it's time to push it, Jimmy Howard. Now it's time to push. Nobody breaking away from one another. Going to see another attack back out onto the oval. Next time around from Kosick. Of course, took it from 4th to 1st. Before all went wrong, contact with Ross that saw them demote down to the back of the field. Onto the brakes, down into the first of the Lesmos. Thompson, he's pushing it. He's pushing it. Howard more conservative there. Different lines, fascinating. Thompson really aggressive, launching it across the curbs. Compared to Howard's more conservative approach. And here we go, folks, onto the brakes. Thompson ran wide here, and he's doing it yet again. Outbraking himself. Gets away with it once more. But for how much longer can he continue to do that before he loses the lead? And he needs a push, and he's getting one from Howard right now. He's surely going to back out of it here, out onto the oval. And Ross and Kosick are falling by the wayside. They need to push, they need to squeeze, they need to make this happen. Otherwise, it will be game over for our pole sitter and the man who joined him on the front row off the grid. Out to the distance, you can see just how much time they're able to catch up. Down that back straightaway. That's the beauty of sim racing, that we're able to do such crazy stuff like this. These pretty much dilapidated now. Here's the bank section, the oval at Monza. It still exists, but nowhere near race-worthy. Certainly we're not seeing 6 Mazda MX-5s hurtling around on this combined circuit. Bypassing first chicane, that is Retafilio, of course known as Prima Variante now in other worlds, for the head through Curva Grande. Really hugging the inside there. For underneath the gantry. They come onto the brakes into, well, they would have come onto the brakes. I'm so used to it, it's a Secunda Variante, of course formerly known as Della Roggia. Between the two Lesmos, and nobody's showing their cards. Kosick and Ross have caught up though with this pack. They're back into it, but with aerodynamics being so crucial around here. Do have to wonder how large a part that damage is playing. It's going to increase fuel consumption. They're not as fast in a straight line. Let's have a little look back. Little minor damage, mostly, well, I think that might be largely. Well, there's a bit of damage there as we look back from Kosick. Sun just disappearing behind the trees there. Oh, and he's slow out the corner. That's where Kosick is losing all of his time. And here he comes, one Bobby Ross to push him. That gap down, well, over a second now between himself and Irwin. And Ross is pushing, he's squeezing, but it's 1.2 seconds, it's 1.3 seconds, and Kosick is seeming like a dead weight now. It's 1.4, it's 1.5 seconds, and Kosick is floundering. It's hurting him. It's that lead group of 4 disappears off into the distance. Ross feathering the throttle, trying to keep close as he can. So he can engage the push as soon as possible. Here we go. On board with the young Floridian. That gap is closing. It works, but is it enough? The answer to that, I think, maybe is no, because they had caught back up onto them. But this is where this part, from here onwards, is where these two really, really shine. The exception of Parabolica, where Kosick is struggling like mad with it right now. Maybe some steering damage from where he clattered the wall earlier on. Ross engages the push. But they've taken that gap from 1.5 seconds down to 1.1, down to 1 second. There we go, under a second now. And they get it down to 8 tenths. That's Bobby Ross actually now elect to try and fuel save this one. To get the jump from Kosick at the pit stops, get himself up onto the back of that pack in front. And become part of it after the pit stops, because I feel that's the only way that maybe Ross is joining them. Although Kosick did show strong pace. But if they come out after the pits, away from this group, Kosick's so strong though, into the first of the 2 Lesmos. And just, well, that gap evaporates, it disintegrates, and Ham got loose, he got a bit leery. Oh, and he's just that little bit too close to the back of Howard. Called him out. And Ham falls behind Kosick. In front of Ross, though, his good friend. Now that gives these guys, maybe, just maybe, and Ross the lifeline that he needs to catch up with this lead group of Thompson, Howitt, and Irwin that are set, well, 1.6 seconds now ahead of them. And this is where the crucial part of the race is ensuing. 1/3 race distance. Howard needs to get up onto the back of Thompson. He needs to push him if they want to stand up any chance of getting away from that group behind. But it's Ross that's coming in with a push as they head out onto the oval for the 7th time. Lap 7 commencing now. Here we go. And Howard is not close enough to engage the pushing crew. On board with Irwin. Playing the thinking man's game right now is Kevin Irwin. He's fuel saving this bad boy. See that gap back there, 1.4 seconds, although it is disappearing. It's down to 1.1. Here they come. But Kosick is getting dropped and he's by himself and he's got nobody to help him. It's all of Ross's Christmases come at once because he's back in the fight now, surely, with the assistance of Jake Ham. Kosick now 1.8 seconds. It's 1.9 seconds. That is the power of the draft here at Monza. I cannot emphasize this enough. It's 2 seconds. It's 2.1. It's going to be probably maybe even 2.4 while they enter into Curva Grande. Notice the gate is sticking around 2.2. Is it going to be 2.3? It's going to be close. Yes, it is. And in fact, actually, I called it right. It's 2.4. Near us, damn it. Though Kosick looking strong yet again. It's more on this part of the circuit. Through Rettifilio they come. This is complex. It's got many sides. Not sure what you call a six-sided object. Well, that is what we're experiencing here. It's mind games, it's tactics. But Kosick has not caught up through the Lesbos like he's done lap after lap. And I think we need to say goodbye to Andrew Kosick for this battle and the chance of winning here today. Unless there's a big wreck, that is surely going to be Kosick's only chance of catching them up, because as the exit Ascari, their gap 2.7 seconds. It's 2.8. It's 2.9. It's 3. He's gone. He's out of the equation. And Ross has lost. Ross has lost ground. And he's not able to stay onto the back of Jake Ham. Meanwhile, up front, well, who's peeled off? It's Irwin and Ham, who head into pit road. Also, look at that, Ross and Kosick come with them meanwhile. 2 men out of Nevada. Carry on. Once more, they need to work together. Howard needs to push. He needs to nudge Thompson along to help in his own efforts to try and win here today. Let's try and hop in and see if we get some thoughts. Well, boys, you've managed to stay out an extra lap compared to the rest of the field. Crucial part of the race now.
It is very crucial, and I'm going to give away my strategy here. I still have 2.5 laps of fuel left. Jimmy and I were planning on pitting on lap 9, so that's what we're going to do. We'll just have to see how all that works out behind us. If 2 cars are better than 4, I don't know. A little bit worried.
Well, we'll find out very, very shortly. We'll leave you to come to a tricky part of the track, so crucial now. And see how Thompson and Howard continue on from there onwards. And Thompson giving away his strap, but there we go. Howard pushing, nudging Thompson along. What's happening to that group behind, though? Ross is by himself. Oh, and he's braking. It looks like he's waiting for Kosick. Meanwhile, Ham pushing Irwin. Tell you, there you go. Ross has waited for Kosick, and now we'll push him shortly. 2 strong drivers, 2 drivers that need to work together more than ever right now. Although Ross using the slingshot method here, overlapping. Meanwhile, in the foreground of the picture there, these two, well, they're going about it old school. They're pushing one another. These 2 strong road racers. Well, think about this one. 8 seconds to gap, though, to Ham in front of them. 7.9 through Rettifilio. So Della Roggia. 7.7 on the exit, nearly 7.8. Meanwhile, out front, they're not coming in. They've already told us they're going to pit on lap 9. And are we pushing? Well, there's your answer, folks. Yes, we are. Working together in a tandem are Howard and Thompson. Just like these two. Ham is wringing the neck off of Kevin Irwin, but this time, the run down the Parabolica, he slingshots himself ahead. Is that a wise move, though, folks? I'm not so sure. Can Irwin push as well as what we've seen Ham do? With the fact that they're going side by side, that says to me that maybe, just maybe, these resolved themselves to finishing third as the hiccups again. Oh dear me. They head onto the oval. These two exit the oval. Well, what times to have hiccups? Oh my love. Oh, for God's sake. But yeah, they're just fighting it out. They're scrapping. And that plays into the hands of Ross and Kosick. Oh, for God's sake. Congratulations if you made it this far. To hear me hiccuping and then trying to hold it in. Oh, but it didn't work. Hold on. Oh, I thought they'd gone as they made their way through. Hello, Gia. Cossiger. Ross swapping places once more. Surely these two should be pushing one another to catch up with Edwin and Ham. Oh, for God's sake. Now the yawns have kicked in. And it's currently 10 to 2 in the morning here in the UK. Oh, I am engaging night mode. You know, because there's porn commentators. But we can't afford. We can't, you know, some of us have to work nights. We can't afford to do this as a full-time job. These two looking a bit loose. Between the Lesmos. Surely these two are going to be in here now. Into pit road. Here they come. Synchronized. They got it slowed down in time? Yes, they have. Although Thompson going slowly down pit road. What's that all about, folks? Has he been dumped for speeding on pit lane? Well, if he's stationary for more than 23 seconds, that's what everyone else has managed. We will know for definite. Meanwhile, here come Irwin and Ham. Despite dueling, I tell you what, Ross and Kosick have managed to catch up. They're surely going to head out of pit road. Yes, they are. Oh, and Thompson's still stationary. That's it. He's done. Oh, no, he's not. A long stop from him. Oh, there's been a big one. Oh, no. And there is Ross involved as well. Kosick avoids the damage. Let's look down from the chopper. Oh, and it was just miscommunication from the pair of them. And then here comes Ross. Tries to avoid it at full throttle, couldn't. Let's take another look at that one. It's not pretty. On board with Ross. Nowhere to go, a thin part of the circuit. And Ham has retired. He's out. And Bobby Ross up into third. But he's got front end damage. Andrew Kosick hasn't. He's catching at an exponential rate, and there's 5 laps remaining. But I tell you what, Jimmy Howard, pit strategy maestro, stationary for 6 seconds less compared to Thompson. The shortest stop of the day as well for Howard. If he can just get things right, not lose too much time through the Lesmos, Jimmy Howard could take his first ever road victory in XSLR. Looking a bit slow there through the first of the Lesmos. Thompson hunting him down. You can make him out in the distance through the sun, peering through amongst the trees. Well, folks, though they might be spaced apart, this is still quite interesting. Kosick has caught Ross and he's passed him, and that is surely going to be Ross. Oh, with that front end damage out of the equation, and these fucking hiccups. I think we're okay. I think we're okay, folks. I think we are okay. Where is Ross? Oh, no, it's been further carnage for Ross. He's lost it into Ascari. Too much curb in his fucking attempts to stay onto the back of Kosick meant that he lost the rear. And Howard has lost quite a bit of time. And Thompson has he got into slipstream range. That was it. He was able to catch up. And here we go. For the lead in round 7. Dramatic moments interrupted once again. By hiccups. And Thompson takes the lead. Howard tucked up just behind him. This is not done and dusted. They still need each other. They still need to grow this lead that they've got. And then let Hell Howl loose into a battle royale on the final lap. Hats off to Andrew Kosick. You see him just in the distance there. I mean, no one to draw off with. He's been able to just stay with these guys. Onto the brakes they come. For the first time in the lap into the Lesmos. Thompson still measuring it much wider compared to Howard. While being the faster line there, through there, is fraught with treachery. It's like dancing with the devil. If he gets it just slightly wrong, then it is, oh, for God's sake, I just give up. Then it's game over. He will end up losing the race. Although the off-track physics that have been improved by iRacing will help him. Prior to that, in seasons gone by, it would have been a won my ticket to the barrier on the inside and writing the car off. Now, well, he'll be okay. It will slow him up, though. Provided it's not damage. Contact between himself and Howard. He would love to fight another day. 10.3 seconds to back to gap back to Kosick. So I give up and I said what was the Howard, sorry, Berwin, sorry. He came off track. Oh. Ah. Oh. That is damage to the front right of the car. Ah, that's been a big contact on the exit of a Skillery. Freaking. It's already happened there. Oh, here we go. Hold on. Oh, so he's already had the damage there. Let's have a bit of a look here. So it's all okay. No front end to that car, of course, from the damage earlier on. Oh! Well, I've never seen that. Damage to the front right suspension, and as he entered the gravel trap, he caught the curbing. It completely and utterly buckled on itself. Well, you learn something new every day, don't you, folks? We love an underdog story. Can Jimmy Howard take his maiden victory in the road section of XSLR? And my hiccups have gone. So this is getting even better. It knows what's coming. Again, thank you to Bayview Shade and Blind, sponsoring XSLR for this season, and I do believe next season as well as Cyber and Data Protection. Check out cyberandDataProtection.co.uk. Protect your company, as well as Dead Daddy Motorsport. One of the title sponsors here, XSLR. Of course, you can forget Dangerous graphics and rendering services. Beautiful pictures on their website. Beautiful. Absolutely talented. The guys there. Make sure you check them out. Some guy called Tim Cox. So, we predicted earlier on, it might be the case, just winding down the clock, and well, it's definitely seeming like that now. Lap 13 out of 15 here from Monza. Looking to find out who's going to take the victory. Will it be Thompson? Will it be Howard? Or will it just end in tears and none of them wins? And Andrew Kosick, by some blind luck and faith, is taking the victory here today. Remains to be seen. We're not too far away from finding out. Are they still pushing one another? No, they're not. They don't need to. It's beyond that. Getting away from Cossack without even trying. Just the one retirement so far. That was Jake Ham earlier on. Oh, and they are. There's pushing going on. Hello. Pushing the way to victory, but hats off to Cossack. It shows the raw pace of the guy. The fact that this gap has not opened up way more than what it should have done. Give you ideas on lap times. Cossack last time around a 3:15.12. This guy's only a second faster, but Bobby Ross, if that's correct, went faster than the leaders last time around. Bobby Ross, where is this pace coming from? There he is. I mean, he's got, surely, it's not over until the fat lady sings, as they say, or the checkered flag flies. However, this guy, he's going for it here. Nothing to lose, but you never quite know, do you? Something happens and then you have to be there to capitalise on it. And if he hadn't have pushed, he would have said to himself, well, what's I doing? If I had have pushed, I would have been there. I could have taken victory potentially. Now, so those others may say, well, do you know what, Bobby, you pushed for all that hard for nothing at all, effectively. Once again, that tighter line from Howard versus the wider line from Thompson. Now we're on to the penultimate lap here from Monza round 7 of XSLR. Get it through this lap. And then the gloves come off. Then the fight begins. Then we get to find out who's going to walk away victorious today. But with how strong Thompson is, through Palaborica compared to how it is, surely this comes down to whoever's ahead potentially. How it needs to be ahead of the Palaborica. I'm not sure if he can get there. See, if the circuit ended, well, now if the start-finish line was on the Grand Prix circuit, well, I'd say Howard's in with a shout here, but work to do. Jimmy Howard, it's time to go to work to engineer yourself the victory here today. And the hiccups have officially gone. Howard is really holding his on. What could possibly one of his best displays ever in the road, aside of the fact that he's vying for victory. It's one of his best trials, as he's a little bit lungy in there. Into the first of the two left, may still get away with it though. Just underneath the oval, into Ascari we go for the penultimate time this evening. Looking good. Howard just needs to hold it together. Though he drops the 410s back, it's nothing to worry about. Because he'll catch some of that back up on the run down to Parabolica. Thompson's starting to feel the threat here. The weaving commencing. He's feeling vulnerable. And if he runs in too deep like he has done previously, I tell you what, Jimmy Howard is looking sizable, and Thompson just, well, reinforcing his intent there, running it all the way up to the wall. White flag in the air, 1 lap left to go here from Monza, round 7 on XSLR. With Bayview, Shade and Blind, and Thompson heads down below the yellow line, comes back up across it. Here comes Howard. He's backed out of it a little. Was that the wise move? He's feathering the throttle. Has he got enough fuel on board to make this work? Is that why he's having to sit behind? Thompson down low, going for the short approach. Howard up high on the banking, carrying that speed, carrying that momentum. Also use it to run down the track as well. Get that bit of extra speed, bit of extra momentum. Here we go, folks. Here comes Howard, engaged in attack mode. We're catching. Are we going to go left? Are we going to go right? And he backs out of it. Or does he? Goes for the late move. Oh, he's onto the cross. And he pulls alongside. And is he ahead? He's got the inside line into Curva Grande. If he stays there, he would have had the inside line into Lesmos, but he backs out of it. Not feeling confident. Does not want to throw this away. He's on for a best ever finish here in XSLR. It's not the dirt oval. That is his forte. Or is it all just mind games? Not long to find out. Out of the Lesmos we come for the final time this evening. The run down to Ascari. And he put Thompson feeling vulnerable once more, just covers it off on the inside there. Who's got it? Who's going to make this one work? And they are side by side. The run into Parabolica for the final time. Thompson covers the inside, but Howard can keep it there. If he can stick it there, he will be okay. He'll carry the momentum right on the outside. This could carry him to victory. And it's going to be neck and neck. Who's going to get this one? Howard comes alongside, and his edge is just ahead, and he gets it by 7 thousandths of a second. 17 thousandths. I can't even get my words out. Jimmy Howard wins his first ever road race. Wow. Wow, folks. What a finish. What a finish. Let's take a look at that run to the line once more. There was work to do from Howard. Got it late on the brakes, lunged in, made Thompson think, pinned into that inside. He had to prep for the brakes. That killed his momentum off, as well as that tie the line. And as you see here, Howard just pulling alongside now. And that was enough. Despite that short run, the finish line coming up incredibly quickly here to carry Jimmy Howard to victory here today. Wowzers. Let's get rid of some of that. So I'm just trying to find some information so we can maybe play a little bit of a game here in the post-race interviews. See if we can find this one. We'll keep them waiting because, you know, what's more important? What is more important? Well, let's take you through some classified results here. Can we get results? Can we? No, we're still waiting on Kevin Irwin to cross the line. No, we can't. Where is Kevin? There he is. It's going to round things out. An eventful night for Kev. He's going to cross the line. I was in with a shout of the victory here today. In the end, only good enough for fifth, and there it confirms it for you. Jimmy Hart taking the victory. Look at that, 19 thousandths of a second. The winning margin over Adam Thompson. A beautiful barrel roll. If you land this on your wheels, Kev, I will give you a 10.2. Oh, he's landing on his roof. No, forget that one. Rubbish. Andrew Kosick, third. Bobby Ross, fourth. Kevin Irwin, fifth. And Jake Ham retiring. Lost him on lap 9. 15 laps here today. But let's have a chat to some drivers, maybe. And well, first off, let's we'll prep things a little bit. So we will let's get things ready here. We're gonna go. All right, let's drag in our Victor here today. We're going to start with a Victor. It's Jimmy Howard. Congratulations! What a result! What a victory!
Thank you, Tim. I did it all for my boy Jerry DiPiero, my mentor, my god, if you will.
You know, lots of people do it for Dale, but you did it for Jerry tonight. I mean, what a pit strategy as well. I mean, the shortest stop of anyone. I was a little bit worried. Is he short on fuel? The answer is that no. You seem to have it all in check tonight.
Yeah, when we were on the straightaways, I would FaceTime Jerry and show him my fuel and be like, "What do I do here, coach?" And he coached me to victory today.
Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. I mean, I mean, it could have gone out any better for you. I mean, obviously, you must have seen. I mean, when the from the live timing that all of a sudden everyone just started to drop like a stone. Was that a little bit of comfort that came to you, knowing it was going to be just yourself versus Adam Thompson?
Well, it got really hairy when all four of them pitted. I was kind of like, "Oh crap, here we go." And then I guess two of them had speeding penalties, so they had to go back in. And
no,
to be honest, that's when it got comfortable.
No, you're wrong. There was a massive wreck on the front straightaway that took out Bobby, Kevin, and Jake.
Really?
Yes. A miscommunication between Kevin and Jake. Bobby tried to go through at full throttle because, there is no other way, let's face it. But he got it wrong this occasion. And, well, he came inside Kevin's rear hard and fast.
Well, I'm a bit of a fan of that myself, so I can applaud it.
It is, and I've got a little bit of a game to play with yourself and Adam Thompson, both of you being strong patriots. We'll do that a little bit later on. We'll come back to you, but that's Jimmy Howard. Well, we need to confirm this. Your first ever victory on the road in XSLR, and in oval as well. Am I right in saying?
You're wrong. I've won oval races.
I thought you might have done.
Colonizer.
But even so, definitely on the road. I mean,
Yeah.
you completed the set now, haven't you? I mean, is this going to see your retirement from XSLR? You've completed the set.
No, I'm gonna win the championship and then pull all funding, and then I'll walk off in a blaze of glory and go start a new league. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Will you be firing some revolvers into the air as you do so, wearing Stetson?
Yeah, and my number one rule is gonna be American broadcasters. Sorry, Tim.
Hey, it's understandable. I don't blame you. You'll understand fully why when you listen back and hear me with the hiccups for half of the broadcast. Classy.
Oh god.
I know.
Better than burping.
Well, that did happen once, but I think it's largely due to my friend Jack and Daniel and their honey that's kept me lubricated throughout the race. But never mind. We'll come back to you shortly for our little bit of a quiz that we've got coming up in a bit. That's Jimmy Howard, your victor here today from Monza. Let's speak to the second place driver, Adam Thompson. I need to update my things here. Congratulations or commiserations. You lost out by a meager. What was it? I mean, just that run to the line. I mean, wow. I mean, it's 19 thousandths of a second, wasn't it, at the line?
I don't even know where the finish line was. We were so worried coming out of the final corner. I knew what Jimmy was doing, and I'm sure you saw it going down the actual Monza front stretch. We both lifted. I tried to lift to get behind Jimmy because I knew what he was going to try to do. I didn't know where. I thought he was going to try it into Ascari. I was hoping he was going to try it into Ascari, but he waited till Parabolica to do it. And yeah, I thought I got on the throttle a little sooner than him on the exit of Parabolica, but I knew if I couldn't have cleared him, he would have had the side draft. And he got on my left rear and just pulled me back. And it was a drag race to the line. I wasn't even looking. I was just trying to get back to his left rear, but it wasn't enough. I mean, it was a good race on Jimmy's part. Very, very smart. Very smart.
It was indeed. And I mean, how nervous were you feeling? You saw the pace that Andy Kosick had. I mean, in the early stage of the race, I mean, he would look like he was absolutely fire. I mean, between him and Bobby Ross, that seemed to be controlling it from the front for that sort of large part till that big wreck. I mean, again, it must have been a very nervous time when you saw them come together right in front of you.
Yeah, well, that was a big moment of that race for sure. I mean, Andy almost acted like he got shot out of a cannon back there from, what was it, fourth place, maybe third, yeah. wherever he came from, and he was just able. It's just amazing that the draft in these cars worked that well. Maybe we should think about next season Miata Super Speedway for races, because that was insane how Andy got shot out of that cannon. It's super unfortunate what happened after that with him and Bobby. I don't know if Bobby didn't really want to check as much as he should have because I was on his tail. I don't know what happened, but it sounds like they're all good about that, whatever happened there. But yeah, when Andy got back up into the wall, I knew the only place for him to go was down, which is where I was. And yeah, I saw my race flash before my eyes right there.
It was, I mean, completely understandable. I mean, are you happy with the second place, or do you feel it's a missed opportunity?
No, I'm very happy with the second place. It's a lot easier. I was telling Jimmy this. It's a lot easier to race with just one person behind you rather than five. So it was a lot easier for me to kind of telegraph his moves and kind of figure out what was happening there at the end. So I'm very happy with the second place. I knew he was going to get. I thought for sure he was going to get me, and there was a glimmer of hope there coming out of Parabolica that I might get him. So it was a very, very fun race, Tim. It just goes to show that it doesn't matter how many people we have in the league. If they're good drivers, then it can still be fun.
There we go. Adam Thompson finished second there today, and enjoys only having one man behind him instead of five. Next up, we'll move on to third place finish, Andy Kosick. And, this week, we've realised we've not put a space in there for Adam. He'll get over that. Let's move on to Andy Kosick now, and eventful race that he had. Let's say for sure. As joins us now, Andrew Kosick. I mean, all things considered, congratulations, maybe. I mean, you looked. I mean, I felt so sorry for you. Obviously, after that contact between, that mix-up between yourself and Bobby Ross, when you made that storming run to the front down the back straightaway on the oval section. Then you lost the draft. You got dropped like a stone. That was it. You were gone. But it just shows, once you keep going right until the checkered flag, because I mean, well, I'm sure you weren't expecting to finish third after that collision with the barrier.
No, I certainly wasn't. Bobby felt bad, and he helped me hang in the draft. He was pushing me there. I was having a real hard time keeping up with the draft out of Parabolica. Once I got up to speed, I was okay, but of course, after the contact there, I really thought I was going over the wall as hard as I hit that barrier.
I mean, you managed to keep it in. I mean, how did you manage to save that one? Was it just pure luck and blind faith?
Well, there's a little bit of that, but I drive these cars quite a bit, and luckily he didn't pit me. It just pushed me into the wall, and so I didn't make any panic moves. I just lifted my feet off the pedals and steered out of it. So it stayed relatively straight, and once I heard the scraping stop, I was able to start accelerating again.
And then again, a knitted dice with death. Jake Cam and Kevin Irwin come together just in front of the pits, and I mean, you think it was a bit of a blessing that you had so much of gap between yourself and Bobby Ross, and the fact that you saw him, career through it and make contact with them, and you were able to back out of it, or were you still not quite optimistic at that stage?
I probably, if I was rolling the dice more, I probably would have followed Bobby straight into it, quite honestly. But I saw those guys spinning, and my gut instinct was to let off. And on a draft track like this, that can cost you a lot. But as it turns out, I had to scrub a bunch of speed to dodge what had happened up there. But I got through clean, and then unfortunately, one of the guys moved and made contact with Bobby, because Bobby and I were trying to work together to work our way back up to those guys and see if we could do something, rejoin the pack of four and put some pressure on Adam and Jimmy. But alas, it was not to be.
Wow, even so, I mean, walking away with a third, a great result, all things considered. Congratulations, Andy Kostick, on the third for, well, what was a turbulent race for yourself.
Yes, thank you very much. A lot of fun racing with these guys. Unfortunately, we didn't have all of us up at the front to give you guys a good show, but it was still a pretty good race.
It was indeed. There we go. Third place finisher, Andy Kostick. Well, I'll tell you what, as Jimmy Houghton has disappeared fully, what we're going to do is just we'll bring back in Bobby Ross in his replacement for a little part of the. We're just going to have a little bit of a quick quiz to round things out here from Monza, as we just disappeared. We'll get rid of some of these things off the screen. And Adam Thompson, Bobby Ross joining us now. Session bonus points potentially up for grabs now. Obviously, both of you being very patriotic about your country and
hang on, Tim. Hang on. How are we doing this? Because it's going to be hard on Discord. Do we have a buzzer, or are you just going to come to one of us and then go to the other one?
No, you are both trying to establish whether these facts are true or not, or whether you just how great your country is.
Oh God.
Oh, so, are we live?
We are live, gentlemen. And
okay.
Well, if I had, because obviously America's far better than the UK, as you always proclaim.
Goodness.
If I had 25,000 bees and I wanted to import them after 4 p.m. on a weekday, could I do that in America?
I'm going to go with no, just for the sheer fact that that's a question that none of us, even Americans, would even think about.
No, you are correct, in fact, but guess where you can do that?
I'm going to assume England.
Yes, you can, yes. Let's say, the great state of Virginia, beautiful, picturesque countryside. And let's say, I'm a farmer, local animals, they can be a nuisance, and let's say I want to hunt or kill a wild bird or a wild animal that was, maybe killing my chickens or something like that. And, would I be able to do that?
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. In fact,
Yes.
there's an old VHS tape back in the day.
No, you're wrong. Unfortunately, you can't unless it's a raccoon. Oh dear, you can do that in the UK as well. Oh dear, it's not looking too good, is it?
Nope. Actually, no, this is wrong. There's actually an old VHS tape called
No.
Exploding Varmints where a guy was going on ranches and was shooting gophers with a 50 caliber.
Now, of
And he
course,
said
legal.
varmints.
Of course,
Yeah, varmints.
we are in a bit of a cost of living crisis at the moment. Times are hard for everyone out there in the world, and let's just say I was in Vermont. A great way is to dry your clothes is to dry them outside on a clothesline. Can I do that?
You can't do that in Vermont, I would assume.
No, you're right. You can't do that in Vermont. But guess where you can do that?
Hang on, Tim. You do realize you're mentioning states, right? So
Yes.
why? First of all,
Well,
I need to know. I need
all
to
of
know
America-
why you can't.
Well,
Why can't you
I don't
dry
know.
your clothes in Vermont?
Well, you can't dry them on a clothesline. I don't know, Adam. Yeah, but then America is amazing, and it's far better. All of America is far better than the UK.
You win this round, Tim. You win this round.
Yes. Now, age-old way of sorting things out, going back to medieval times and such like, is to maybe have a duel. With swords and such like. A duel.
Oh, a duel.
No, a duel. It's not got an A in it, Adam. It's about DUEL.
Okay.
Now, let's say I want to hold public office in Tennessee, and I wanted to fight a duel also because maybe, there was some pesky person that was maybe causing me an issue. Would I be able to do that?
Only if it was your sister, if it's Tennessee.
No, not even it's your sister. No, unfortunately, you can't.
Wait, you can have a duels in England, Tim?
You can still, yes, it's fine. Just go to the streets of London. It's Hackney, any of those. You'll see on a regular occurrence. Also, zombie knives. Very, very popular over here.
Do you know what we don't need? You know what we don't need over here? We don't need a license for a TV.
No, you don't. But then you don't have unbiased press, which does pay for that TV license. Unfortunately, Bobby. Now, let's say if there was a unmarried woman and I went to, get with her because that would be the way, wouldn't it? And I, obviously being a man, and I wanted to seduce her, and I found myself in the fair state of South Carolina. Would I be able to do so?
Well, hang on. Is the man married?
Of course, this not.
Are you? I know we're live, but are you suggesting date rape now, Tim?
No, I'm not. No, seduce just merely means to persuade, to flirt, to promise a woman marriage and a better life in union as man and woman.
Again, because you're asking this question, I would say no, you can't.
No, you can't, can you? Well, no, I lie. You couldn't up until 2016, unfortunately. So if you did it before 2016, you would have been in trouble. But that concludes this week's round of Who is Better, the UK or the US? Thank you very much for joining us, everyone. As sadly, Adam and Bobby just walked away, licking their wounds there. Well, thank you very much for joining us, as we will see you in a week's time, no less, here at Slow Motion Broadcasting, where we head all of the way from Italy to where were we heading up next? We've got one more round left in the road section of the championship. Let's just have a little look here. As yes, we head to the Hockenheim Ring, only a short trip across Europe. Of course, as we've established, a far better place with less random lords than the US. I've been Tim Cox. Thank you very much for joining me, and we will see you in a week at Hockenheim Ring. Good night. God bless wherever you are in the world.